he's playing, what want to do. And he looks like he's enjoying his football, and the quality is coming through as well.
I think every single player wants to be loved, don't they, by their managers? They want to be told that they're going to be, the first name on the list. And there's only been one ever football season, that's James. And I suppose Naki Wells has sat on the bench for quite some time, waiting for his opportunity. He came on at QPR and was, Richard did that game. He was absolutely brilliant. He was a live wire during that game. He's just taking it on, and he's a real outlet. He gives us that pace out. He holds the ball out, the ball up, he knows where the goal is. He's a handful, and at this level he should be. We paid decent money for him, and now he's actually repaying the money we paid out for him. So, I'm really pleased to see that he's given consistency of focus up front. He's able to run off Martin, who's not as mobile as Naki. Makes a really intelligent run if he keeps on doing that. Martin will come.
Crystal as ever, Chris Honor at St Andrews, less than 15 minutes to kick off. Full commentary coming your way on the midweek match here on BBC Radio Bristol and BBC Radio Somerset's 95.5 FM preview channel 722. On Saturday's Winnable Bonds, he will hold a special place in Ayman Benarous's heart for sure. The 18-year-old lady's debut for the club as a substitutes.
Well, it's a big moment for 18-year-old Ayman Benarous, who is going to make his Bristol City debut here. The next on the conveyor belt of young talent from the Bristol City Academy, an attacking midfielder. We've got a hat-trick for the under-23s against Watford last week, and he's on for his first team debut.
The manager pulled me in, he said, "You'll be on the bench," he said, "Be ready." And that's what I was to just waiting for an opportunity, and hopefully there's many more to come. It was a tough one to come on to, but I was always hoping that I'll come on, and I was very happy that it was an incredible feeling, to be honest. Something I've been working towards for a long time, and to come on and see out the win, it felt great, and happy with the 3 points at home finally.
Are your family here today?
Yeah, they're all watching. I didn't see them actually, but I bet they'll be cheering on, and I've probably got a few messages on the phone I'll go and see. But the manager said everyone gets their chance on merit. I've been training well, I think. The manager's put his trust in me, and I can keep repaying that in weeks to come. I've been here since I was 6. I'm an attacking player, but I don't mind doing work as well. I like to get on the ball. Hopefully I can excite the fans and get a couple of goals and assists, really. And about age, working your way onto the pitch, and whoever performs will get their chance. So that's what we and the young boys have been doing, and hopefully we can push the older lads, and they can trust their experience, and hopefully help the team to get more and more points. The lads put their bodies on the line, to be honest. And it was a tough game to come into, but I'm glad we won. And we move on to good Tuesday.
The friends in touch via Twitter at Jeff20Man. Like, big game tonight. 2 evenly matched teams, in my humble opinion. 2 similar playing systems and styles. Assuming we've gone to 3, will be a good barometer for where we are in our rebuild. Come on, you Reds, is the message from Febs via at Jeff20Man. Let's go back to St Andrews. Richard is with another Richard Wilford on BBC WM. You can tell us about the home side tonight.
Richard, it's always good to catch up. I particularly remember when Aidan Flint always joined Birmingham a few years ago. We were in regular contact. Modern day Birmingham, maybe if we spoke 10, 14 days ago, been a bit of doom and gloom, but results seem to have picked up. What can we expect tonight?
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, results were poor, but they've been creating a lot of chances. They weren't scoring goals. They went nearly 7 games without a goal. They've changed a few things. Actually, Fulham changed the defence, which seems to have freed things up a bit more. They've strengthened the midfield, so Gary Gardner and Ivan Sulic are playing together, Ryan Wood dropped to the bench. And they've finally started Troy Deeney, who needed some time to get fit and played more football for Watford in the last couple of years. And he's become, as you kind of expected when he arrived, a bit of a talisman with a goal against Swansea and an assist at the weekend against Middlesbrough. So things look a little bit brighter because of the last 10 days. And they needed it indeed for Lee Bowyer, needed to get them reorganised. But he's done
Forest don't suffer points gladly. How they taken to the manager, Lee? Oh, yeah.
Well, I mean, look, he had a head start because he won the Carling Cup with us back in 2011. So he was coming back to a place where he was already loved. The job he did at tail end of last season was remarkable to keep him safe. Particularly his first 4 games rolling into teams in the top 6. Everybody was saying, well, you won't get anything from those. They took 7 points from those first 4 games. He lifted the team, he kept things simple, he gave them instructions they understood. And this summer they've carried on with that. Craig Gardner is now the technical director. Between them, they've shot on a budget. And the players they've brought in, on the whole, have made a contribution. So, it's a different looking Birmingham City team. They're pretty solid. And Lebo, particularly having turned things around in the last couple of weeks ago, he's very much in favour with the fans.
Yeah, and what are you expecting from Birmingham this season? Is mid-table realistic, or what are you expecting higher or lower than that?
Mid-table would be a success. Lee has been at pains to point out that this team has been battling relegation 4 years out of the last 5. Realistically, with the money that they've spent not being a huge amount, they're not going to leap off the table this year. So mid-table respectability would be a real step in the right direction. They fully at the start they made this year raised some expectations amongst the players that were very much unrealistic. But they've got the platform now. Anywhere between 10 and 15 would be a good year.
City, but Bristol City are unbeaten here in 3 visits. What do you as an outsider make of the team that we cover, Bristol City, managed by Nigel Pearce?
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing how poor the home record's been. And my word, we've lived through that a lot here in the last few years. Tough runs, but away from home, you've got a bit of pace, you can hit teams on the break. So I expect City to be a handful. What I would say is, for whatever reason, this fixture is always an away win, isn't it? More often than not, it's an away win. Yeah. So try that change, maybe.
Nice to see you. Thank you.
Good conversation there. Thanks, Richard. Richard Hoskin with Richard Wilford on BBC WM. Matches tonight in the second tier. City at Birmingham, Coventry, Swansea, Luton against Middlesbrough, Millwall, Reading, Forest against Sheffield United, and Peterborough against Huddersfield. Keep in touch with all those games throughout the evening here on the midweek night. Let's get in the mood then for hopefully an away victory for City. It was a tense afternoon in BS3 on Saturday. City conceded first. Andy Vyman scored twice, and the fans dragged the players over the line as they beat Barnsley by 2-1.
Brilliant. We weren't good today. We didn't play very well. I'm sure they came here knowing that if they put us under pressure, we could crack. It's an illustration, I think, of the fragility of the mental state in terms of what anxiety does. And I was as nervous as everybody else, I suppose. But great for the fans. And I thought they were excellent in terms of turning the noise up to support the team. And it's about the players and the fans.
Quick throw in taken, in from Woodrow. Devante Cole's on the byline, cuts it back, and there's Iseka to turn it in. 8 yards out, caught napping Bristol City, and the critical opening goal in this fixture goes to Barnsley. Britain Central rolls it out to Williams on the left-hand side, right-footed shot, and Bentley makes the save, and it's behind for a corner. Important save with his legs. Wells tries to drop in behind Michael Hellick, the Polish defender, but the ball will be picked up in midfield here now by Callas, and played through, and 5 minutes onside, just to equalise. Andreas Gleiberman tucks that ball away, and Bristol City are level. Just their 5th goal here at Ashton Gate this season. Oh, they desperately needed that, and they have found the equalising goal. Andreas Gleiberman breaks his own 9-game run without a goal to make it Bristol City 1, Barnsley 1. Into the feet of Masengo, switched play really nicely there. Chris Martin's running into the penalty area, tight angle, cuts it back to Vyman. Yes! Andy Vyman scores again, and from 1-0 down, the Austrian has 2 goals in a matter of 5 minutes, and Bristol City will go into the interval leading by 2 goals to 1. Masengo did brilliantly to pivot and play in Chris Martin, and a little look from him, he spotted Vyman coming back into a good position, cut it back to the Austrian, he did the rest, and City lead 2-1. Finds Woodrow, feeds the ball to Cole, left hand part of the penalty penalty area into the 6-yard area. Brilliant save by Bentley. From Benson's flying header. Played into the heart of the penalty area. Cole with a header, and it's knocked down. It's blocked again. Then it hits the crossbar. Then it's cleared off the line, and then saved by the legs of Bentley. Well, that must have almost been a goal 3 times. It's still alive. Nigel Pearce is furious. Benson swings the ball in with the man in the back post. Oh, God, his own bar by Atkinson. That was going in. Somehow, it's gone over the top of the crossbar. Referee's given a goal kick. I'm not sure how anyone can understand how that hasn't gone in. There are 3 players flat on their backs on the goal line. Belarus down by the corner flag. The young man just put the studs on the ball. He does! That's the full-time whistle! Shouted from the rooftops of BS3. Bristol City have finally won again at Ashton Gate at the 18th time of asking. It's been far too long, but they have done it. I'm not sure how many times they kept the ball out their net in the second half, but they have their first home win of the season. I can't believe the reaction at full time. It's unbelievable. Everybody is up on the feet. Everybody's singing, everybody's dancing, everybody's happy. The final 4 minutes are unbelievable. How City survived, we'll never know. But what an important 3 points.
Massive relief today, I think, to see at the end, to everyone, the fans, first players, everyone that just wanted to have this whole win. The last 10-15 minutes, they didn't stop singing. You could hear it on the pitch. See a few of us were struggling at the end. Fitness-wise, we were growing a little bit, but it's just, they dragged us through it, and at the end, celebrating with them was brilliant.
The afternoon. Well, 2 changes. Good to see you finally back in the start. Hands on the bench. Shane, but I suggest he'll get on as his workmanship, being good player in the last few games. I'm thinking 1-1. Bit of an own goal here. Schoolboy Heron says arranged the 2 Sterling finishes top half in the evening to complete their DBS checks. That is a schoolboy. You'll be listening though. I'm sure you're listening to the guys. Let's get live to St Andrews. Match time on the midweek match. City at Birmingham. Commentary with Chris Homer alongside Richard Hodgkin.
Thank you, Jeff. Good evening, everybody from the West Midlands. It's the 65th league meeting between Birmingham City and Bristol City. And right on cue, out come the 2 teams. Birmingham led by their captain, Troy Deeney, in blue shirts, white shorts and blue socks. Bristol City in their red shirts, white shorts and red socks, led out by captain Dan Bentley. St Andrews, they're one of the more famous grounds in English football. They've had a few problems this season with safety certificates. In fact, 2 sides of the ground, the Spy Cow and the Chiltern Road end opposite us, are only half capacity. The front tiers are not allowed to be used at the moment. So the City fans are making good noise to my right-hand side, several hundred making the trip on this Tuesday night. And Chris, I think that Andy Byman goal is the most celebrated goal since Corey Smith against Manchester United. And it's important now that City build on that and get a good result and hopefully an improved performance tonight.
A good word, isn't it? Momentum. It was a huge occasion on Saturday, and again we listened to it just moments ago, and it was quite nerve-tingling. It was a very scary finish. Barnsley were the better team, and Bristol City almost succumbed to their anxiety, but we managed to get over the line, and Bristol City fans certainly celebrated that night. Hopefully we'll be celebrating again this evening. So the Bristol City fans are off to the right. There's plenty of them there, and it's a really weird atmosphere in the ground because, as you said, it's a horseshoe of a ground, but all the lower tiers are empty. It seems a little bit eerie, doesn't it? A quick run through the City 11. Bentley in goal, the back 3 of Viner, Callas and Atkinson. Tanner on the right, the Silver on the left. James, Bakinson and Vyman with Martin and Wells, the 2 strikers. I don't know if Zach Miner's ears were burning. We were talking about him in the press room at 6:30, and then out of the blue he started. He played a lot of games last season, but he's going to be a bit nervous tonight, isn't he? Because Nigel Pearson clearly hasn't fancied him in recent games. He comes straight back in tonight. He needs a good performance with Baker knocking on the door. Yeah, you almost got to back up. The manager's belief will prove the manager that you need to clear everything. So he'd be a little bit nervous.
nervous, he'd be a little bit concerned about his match fitness. But as long as he's been training hard day in, day out, he's been doing all the running exercises and he kept himself fit. Hopefully his fitness levels are high, but it has been a surprise not to see Zach playing week in, week out. And there's lots of competition in all those places at the moment. You know, he can play right back, he can play centre half, he's been competing with Nathan Baker, Thomas Callas and Atkinson. So, yeah, he's had a lot to contend with, but it's lovely to see him back in, and it's nice to see an academy player back in the start of the team at Ashton Gate for Bristol City.
The referee tonight is Simon Hooper from Wiltshire. He was in charge of the game against Fulham recently at Ashton Gate. The City players head to the centre circle. I think they often surprise the home fans at away games. They're not sure what they're going to do, but they're taking to the knee, of course, in support of Black Lives Matter. Not all the Birmingham players join in. I'd say 50% of the squad elect to stay stood. But City's decision to take to the knee is applauded by both sets of supporters. Birmingham with one change, an impressive one at Middlesbrough on Saturday. Jeremy Bella, who Chris is scaring me about, I think we're rating the wide player on the left-hand side. He comes in with Christian Pedersen missing out with injury.
That's because I used to be a fullback. That's
Any winger is trouble.
Yeah, well, any winger running at me used to scare me. So listen, you know, I'm a typical Bristolian guy. I just want to see wingers in the Bristol City team as well. But you know, anything running at us, certainly be nervous about.
The assistant referees are Daniel Robaton and Derek Eaton, with James Oldham, the fourth official. Nigel Pearson keeping a low profile so far this evening. It's Curtis Fleming on the edge of the technical area with Lee Bowyer. City will kick off. They're attacking right to left in this first half, attacking the home spy and cop. City immediately go left, looking for Chris Martin, who can only head it out of play for a throw into Birmingham. Viner starts in the middle of the three. Callas on the right, Atkinson on the left. Throw into Birmingham, which will come in from the right-hand side, and the former Barnsley player Mark Roberts. Birmingham attacking left to right with an enormous, powerful throw into the opposition half. There's an Atkinson header, a Lyman header. Birmingham go left towards Bella. Awkward bouncy ball for Tanner to deal with. And Birmingham kick it out of play for a Bristol City throw-in. It's only, 10 days since City's last away game here in the West Midlands against West Brom, and one of their poorest displays in some time. The likes of Tanner will want to put that behind them this evening and put in a much improved showing. Interesting, that clip from Nigel Pearson straight after the win against Barnsley. We were poor today.
Yeah, well, it was nice to see Tanner start on the front foot, and there was a 50-50, and he competed well with Bella just to let him know he was there. So, yeah, good start straight away for Bristol City.
It's Naki Wells for Bristol City. A very minor possible sign, though, that Danny Simpson's off on the bench even this evening. As, City had an attacking throw-in, right-hand side. Wells making a run over on the right touchline. James is behind the ball. Tanner taking his time. Tanner takes it to James. In fact, it's Martin on the right-hand side now. Backinson. Wells. First touch lets him down. Birmingham hack it away. Halfway line, it's Viner, who pumps it forward. And it's gone out of play for a Birmingham throw-in. First time this season, Chris, that it's a bit colder, isn't it? I noticed you've got the gloves on, I've got the thermal trousers on. Yeah, but really good conditions, I think. No excuse, the pitch is tremendous here at St Andrews.
Looks absolutely fantastic. No wind at all. The flags aren't even moving in any of the four quarters. Yeah, they're perfect cool conditions for a game of football.
2 minutes, 0-0. Matthias Sarkic, on loan from Wolves, is the Birmingham goalkeeper. He's keeping Neil Etheridge out the side at the moment. It's really about Neil Etheridge, who had a spell at Bristol Rovers over. He had a pretty torrid time with COVID in the summer. Thankfully, make their full recovery. Martin's flick on towards the area. Partially cleared by Birmingham. They now will complete the clearance. And a dangerous ball over the top. City caught. Square, really. Hogan thankfully doesn't get there because the ball had so much pace and found Bentley. But it was a simple ball over the top. And City was caught out by the onside Hogan. De Silva now attacks the other end for Bristol City. Jay De Silva recalled this evening to Wells. Wells, another heavy touch. He's guilty of a foul. Wells' boots made a flat early on. A couple of poor touches and he conceded a foul.
Yeah, nice move by Bristol City. There was a couple of intelligent passes, a couple of 1-2s. De Silva ended up with the ball in that last third, played the ball inside to Mackie Wells. Unfortunately, had a heavy touch, but nice move from Bristol City. That's their counter-attacking play that they're looking to exploit, being away from home against a defence that's rather higher than normal. Say at Ashton Gate, where they tend to drop a lot deeper. But yeah, good movement from them straight from the start.
Sarkic with the free kick. He pumps the ball towards the penalty area. Callas heads it away. Bellingham pick up the pieces and go left to Bella. Bella crossing from the left-hand side, a diving header away from Callas. Head back into the City penalty area. Another header from Callas. James calmly heads it to Tanner at right back. Tanner takes a touch and then clears it to the opposition half. Naki Wells leaping against Sanderson. Sanderson a good header. Birmingham out of play for a throw into Bristol City.
First thing I've noticed as well as Bristol City trying to sort out their back three, but Birmingham are very direct, aren't they? They get the ball down and they're looking to play it forward very quickly. There was that ball that Bentley just beat Scott Hogan to, and there's another quick ball that was just helped over the top that they're trying to exploit maybe a Bristol City team that don't know each other quite so well as a back three.
City unbeaten in 3 visits to St Andrews. 3-0 victory here last season. Callum O'Dowd amongst the goal scorers. Casey Palmer, Antoine Simonio, none of those players that start tonight. Palmer is here today. Took part in the pre-match warm-up, but not on the bench. Interesting comments from Nigel Pearson about Palmer on Saturday. Says he needs to work harder in training if he wants to force his way back into the squad. But he's out of favour at the moment, Palmer. Remember that game where Tommy Rose scored an equaliser? It was one of Palmer's best ever games for Bristol City. Just through ball after through ball. I think we know there's a player there.
I agree, absolutely. His best Bristol City performance by a long way. He was excellent that day, and he shot like a very bright light. It's just unfortunately he's unable to do that every Saturday.
Chris Order with me, Richard Hoskin, 0-0. Not too much to report early on as Atkinson elects to go back to goalkeeper Bentley in a blue and multicoloured goalkeeping strip. Kicks it down the middle. Should be a free header for Birmingham. Deeney miles offside, has to watch in vain. Apparently he's got a Birmingham City crest tattooed on his car. Big Birmingham supporter. 2 goals since coming back to the hometown club. Martin for City goes down, that's a foul, but an advantage. So it's Atkinson. 4 pass from Atkinson, trying to slip in James. Cleared by Birmingham to Deeney on the halfway line. Deeney against Viner. Deeney slips it through. Atkinson's not very clear, but he's held by Bentley who gathers. He was bullied off the ball there by Deeney, but Gardner couldn't take advantage of some good play by the experienced striker.
Well, Zach paid far too much respect to Deeney then. Quite a heavy touch, and I would have expected Zach to maybe nip it in front. Maybe if he'd played a few more games recently, he would have been a bit more positive, but it all broke down when Atkinson played a ball pass forward, but when he was in a good position, and almost Birmingham caught Bristol City on the counter-attack.
City tried an attack down the left with Wells, but it comes to nothing. The ball's out of play on the halfway line for a Birmingham throw-in. It's quite a modern ground, St Andrews, apart from the stand we're sat in. The main stand was built in 1952, and I don't think too much has happened to it since, Chris.
Well, I certainly remember walking at this. It must be old, but no, the rest of the where we're sat looks amazing. It's just this must be old.
It's a throw-in on the halfway line to Birmingham, 0-0. BBC Radio Bristol, BBC Radio Somerset. The throw-in is launched effortlessly down the right-hand side. A back header from Viner. Hogan wants to shepherd it out for a corner kick. Mission accomplished. First corner of the evening.
His next one, I think about what he's doing there. He could have met it quite powerfully, and again was a little bit indecisive, and it just slid off his head, and Birmingham ended up with a chance to get the ball in the box.
All the red-shirted City players are back to defend, no one forward. Even Wells is inside his own penalty area. The corner will be taken by Jordan Graham, right-hand side. Graham, a right-footed corner. It's allowed to bounce. It hits the back of Backinson, knew nothing about it. That was dangerous. Had the Birmingham player have made contact, he would have headed into the goal. City now counter with Backinson. Backinson starting to get some game time this season. De Silva, now Atkinson. De Silva. He was braver than me there, but he elects to square it across the halfway line to Callas. Vyman. Booed because of his Aston Villa links, presumably. Here's James. Callas Callas back into defence and James. James is fouled, and it's a free kick on the halfway line for Bristol City. It's interesting that at the start of the season, Callas out of favour, lost the captaincy. He's obviously made up with Nigel Pearson because Ali asked about Rob Atkinson's performance, and he changed the subject from Nigel Pearson to Thomas Callas, saying how outstanding he was. So good to see him on top form. And Callas has the ball lifted over the top, I think, on side Wells. The defender headed as far as Vyman, who can flick it off the player in the blue shirt for a throw into Bristol City, an attacking throw in right hand side.
He's certainly shown his work to Bristol City this season since he's got back in the team. He's one of the mainstays, and we use him for these long throws that he's about to use in that far corner now.
Yeah, this was the rage, wasn't it, at the start of the season? Have a little rest, but we're getting a long throw in now from Callas. Atkinson's forward, Vyner's forward, Vyman, Atkinson, Wells, all in the penalty area. After all that build-up, it's a short throw in. Now the ball comes in from Tanner, right-hand side. Wells dragged to the ground. He's going to appeal for a penalty, but the referee gives a foul against Naki Wells. I don't think the striker will agree with that decision.
A little bit unnecessary as well. He had a little bit of a run and jump at the full-back at the far post, and he decided to get too close and foul him. If he just got a little bit earlier, he almost had a free header, but unfortunately he's given a foul away, and Birmingham clear the ball now.
0-0. Rematch, BBC Radio Bristol, BBC Radio Somerset. Free kick to Birmingham. All that foul by Naki Wells in a good black goalkeeping strip. Sarkic, right-footed clearance. Callas, a commanding header into the opposition half. Now, Birmingham play a heavy back pass to the goalkeeper who chests and slices it wide. Not a good back pass from Mark Roberts. City gets a throw in left-hand side.
Naki Wells done well there. He noticed that the only option the centre-half had was to pass it back to the keeper. The ball back to the keeper was heavy. The goalkeeper just chested it, just smashed it anyway, just to get away from goal.
James De Silva, 20 out to the corner flag, left-hand side. Short to Backinson, back to De Silva. Backinson now faces the penalty area. Outside the box, it's Martin. Martin to his right, and Tanner. Lots of Bouchard's behind the ball. James with a good ball into the box. Sanderson, a really important touch to prevent Naki Wells getting in behind the defence. There's Atkinson climbing. Legally, no foul. City shoot from distance. It takes a wicked deflection off a City player. And it'll be a goal kick to Birmingham.
And a good positive play by Bristol City. Atkinson won it nice and strong above Hogan. Hogan was complaining he wanted a foul, but City carried on playing a good ball into the box. And a strike in the end at goal. Unfortunately, Bristol City just couldn't help it. Goal was ended up a Birmingham goal kick. But yeah, it was positive play, nice and positive by Atkinson. Towered above with Hogan, showed a good ball.
So 0-0. We've played 11 minutes. Matthias Sarkic, a Montenegro international, born in Grimsby. His father was a diplomat, I understand. Coventry 0, Swansea 1. That's where City are going on Saturday. Jamie Patterson, who's having a great first season at Swansea with a goal. Swansea beaten here by Birmingham recently. Halfway line, a City throw-in. Thomas Callas into the opposition half. Birmingham win the header back. There's a Callas header offside against Birmingham. Free kick will eventually be given. The referee thought there might be an advantage, which there wasn't. City take a quick free kick, and Vyman speaks in the offside trap. Vyman is tugged as he shoots.
Oh, he tugged him back.
Well, there's no signal of a penalty, and Vyman isn't really complaining, but he beat the offside trap, and he had to shoot instinctively, and he got too much on it. He lifted it over the crossbar, but you speak on instinct sometimes, and I saw a tug on the shirt, but Vyman's not complaining, so presumably not a penalty.
Just as he made contact with the ball, just to help it over the goalkeeper, he just got that little tiny tug, which made him sort of lean backwards, and as he made contact with the ball just to tap it over it, he lifted it far too far and went behind the crossbar as well as the goalkeeper.
Hogan, a deft touch, hacked away by Tanner. Lee Bowyer felt that Vyman was offside and probably has an argument. But Vyman had no time. The ball was going away from him, so he had to shoot early, and he couldn't keep it down.
Yeah, the idea is you put it in the back of the net and you worry about it later, don't you? And two rights don't make a wrong, or two wrongs don't make a right in that instance. But yeah, Vyman should have put that ball away.
Birmingham attack down the right-hand side. De Silva, the covering player, can't stop the cross. That's a wonderful cross, and it's not gone in from Hogan. In fact, I think it was Gardner. He he should have scored. It was an empty net after a wonderful cross on the right-hand side, but it was a square header. He couldn't get the header on target. How is it not 1-0?
Oh, he must have been 2 or 3 yards out, and he just managed to almost head the ball back in exactly the same direction as the cross came. It looked easier to score, but you're just watching the replay above me. It looks as if Bentley got the tiniest little touch and may have just altered the course of the ball.
Yeah, Bentley possibly got the nearest of touches, but had that have been Hogan or Deeney, surely it would be 1-0 to Birmingham. Gardner, who I think has scored 1 goal this season, should have done better. And that's just lifted the atmosphere at St Andrews. Birmingham come again with a deflected shot, and it's gone into the goal. Dan Bentley didn't stand a chance. And it's Riley McGree who gets a bit of luck in front of those travelling Bristol City supporters. Dan Bentley's unhappy with his teammates. He's trying now to rally the troops. 14 minutes. The deadlock has been broken. And it's Birmingham 1, Bristol City 0.
The atmosphere has been quite slow and passive, and Birmingham haven't really offered anything. Then they had that lovely cross to the box just moments ago, and then the ball just fell to the midfielder then, and he just advanced. No one closed him down. Everyone backed off. He had time to shoot. He pulled the trigger, and a horrible deflection sent it right into the middle of the goal, with Bentley going to cover one of the corners. Completely. Yeah. Well, I think it was like Callas. Callas, I've just seen it, yeah. Really disappointing for Bristol City. It started so well. You know, they've been in the game from the start, and they've given away a sloppy goal again.
I mean, there's an argument always it's an own goal because it wasn't going to go in until it hit Callas, but McGree will certainly celebrate his 2nd goal of the season.
Yeah, I think he'll end up claiming it was going goal bound. Who's going to argue about it? I'm sure Callas doesn't want it on his name, but Bristol City could have easily stopped that. They need to close down players on the edge of the box, especially 30 yards out. There's no need to back off and back off.
City free kick, James in from the left-hand side. It is flicked wide by Martin. Never on target. He had to just get a touch and hope, but the goalkeeper didn't even have to dive there.
Ball in, Martin just helped on his way. No one at the far post.
So Birmingham lead by 1-0. A lucky goal from Riley McGree, the Australian international.
Be interesting to see what Bristol City are made of now. We know that little bit of a bounce after Saturday's game, a little bit of confidence. Let's see if we can get back in it.
And nothing at all Callas or Bentley could do about it. Callas was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Birmingham lift the ball forward. There's Callas who heads it away. Bella against James. James tries to get the challenge in. Tanner as well. Out for a free kick. I think that was Tanner with the challenge. Free kick to Birmingham on the left touchline. 16 minutes, 1-0 to Birmingham. Birmingham looking for a 3rd win in a row. And a throw-in, which Mark Roberts is going to take. And he's shaping up as if he's going to go long. For a Barnsley player, scored on Saturday, now looking for an assist. Throw-in launched into the penalty area. Feel like an official back into the referee lets it go. The ball deflects wide left. Deflections are not Bristol City's friend so far this evening. Whilst knew nothing about that one, it's a throw-in to Birmingham.
Atkinson's one of the biggest players in the box, and he's just sometimes he's just got to be appreciate how strong he is, and sometimes he's just got to attack some of these balls that come in.
Another throw-in is incoming. The ball is played into the penalty area. Martin, good defensive header. Birmingham back into the box. There's a header away by Atkinson. Sunic into the penalty area, headed by Friend to the left-hand side. First time high, hanging cross. Atkinson leaps in vain. The ball falls to the right-hand side and Graham. Graham against De Silva. The ball is chipped forward. De Silva should get to it first, which he does. Turns, clears. Birmingham leading 1-0, now facing their own goalkeeper. There's the back pass. There's the clearance. City trying to have an offside trap, doesn't really work. James tries to get the challenge in. That doesn't work. Sunic to Bella. Bella on the halfway line, back into midfield and Sunic. Making His 98th league appearance for Birmingham this evening. The Croatian international. There's a clearance from Atkinson for Bristol City. Sort of on the ropes, but they're certainly not keeping the ball away.
There's this possession-based game that Bristol City need to be able to do a little bit better, especially away from home when you're chasing the ball a lot. Even at home, you need to be able to create things from possession, but at the moment, Bristol City giving it away far too easily.
There's a Backinson header. Martin inside his own half. Shrugs off the challenge to Silva. Loses the ball too easily. Does well though to win it back. Martin, very congested in midfield as Wells plays the ball back into defence and a firm ball back to Callas. Now Tanner. Tanner can only cheaply give the ball away to Mark Roberts. Bella on the left. Bella a low pass. Deeney flicks it into the air. Backinson doing a lot of defending at the moment. James. Wells holding it up. Rather fortunately finds Jada Silva, almost bounces off his arm. Martin, James. James tripped, no foul. Birmingham counter-attack, McGree. Troy Deeney into the box. Hogan challenging, and it's got wide. I think the flag's up for offside. Wouldn't have counted. But at the moment, Birmingham looking the more threatening as the ball goes wide to Bentley's right-hand side, although the flag probably would have saved Bristol City.
The ball seems like a little bit of a hot potato at the moment. Bristol City don't ever seem to have the ball in their possession. It's never comfortable. The ball seems to be popping off their shins and they're giving the ball away really cheaply. And when they do, they're all out of position. And Birmingham just got on the counter-attack and almost scored. It's happening far too regular.
Atkinson with a really good run from defence. Centre circle, James. Right, Tanner. Just inside the opposition half as they go back to Callas. Callas has the licence to come forward with the ball right-hand side. Inside square pass to James. Back to the right touchline and Callas. Callas delivers a cross. Flying header for George. Lionel touches the pass. Thankfully, tracks and strikes the ball to safety. Off a Birmingham player for a throw into Bristol City. It was a very high line there, Bristol City. Had to finally not have won the ball. Could have been two players through on goal.
Hogan City is sharp, but it's not quick. The exact fact is his speed against Hogan City got really close to it.
James lifts the ball towards the penalty area. Wells tries to round the goalkeeper with his head, but the goalkeeper gets some pledges on that. It was a great shot from the keeper because the defender left it, and Wells almost used his head to round the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper managed to hang on to the ball. There are crumbs of potential in City's attacks, but so far they haven't really troubled the goalkeeper. Atkinson. Brave header, and he landed awkwardly, but he's back on his feet. Given away cheaply to Jada Silva. All right there. The referee will only get a throw into Bristol City. Inside their own half, left-hand side. Two sides level on points. Birmingham 14th, Bristol City 15th at the start of play. A quarter of the way through the game. 1-0 the lead to the home side, Birmingham. Viner clears the ball down the Birmingham left. Dion Sanderson, who's on loan for Wolves, turns, clears, might turn into a pass for Deeney. Viner wants to shepherd it out and succeeds on that occasion.
They're really quite primitive, aren't they? Birmingham, when they get good possession of the back, they don't try to play through midfield. They're not trying to break from you, but they play the diagonal, or they play the ball, it balls into the channel for Hogan and Deeney to chase, and they're just all squeeze up.